Rock Nation set Tory Lanez up. Rock Nation wanted to sign Tory and he didn't want to sign. Then this happens. Why don't they want us to know about Megan and Kelsey fight? And welcome back to my channel. I'll go by the name of Dr. Heinz. Thank you so much for tuning in once again to another video. This has been a case that has pretty much divided opinions in the hip hop community, as well as it's been a clear-cut case from the beginning, especially when Meg actually dropped the photos of her injuries to TMZ, and as well as gone as far to prove our innocence. And even then, she was really scrutinized and really not believed. Even after this case, it is now, the narrative has now changed a lot, and today we're going to dive right into this case and just hopefully bring out the truth, bring out all that's been reported, bring out all that has been presented in terms of the court documents, and hopefully just put it to bed. Shout out to all my new subscribers that has, embarked on this video. Thank you so much for subscribing onto the channel. Welcome to my crazy thought express. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful journey. To all my assistant subscribers, thank you for tuning in once again to another video. Make sure to see that you're still subscribed. I know it's a bit late. The statute of limitations has actually passed on New Year's, but I would like to take this opportunity to say, Happy New Year's to all of you that may have celebrated. Without further ado, let's get on to the video, because, boy, those that don't actually know much about this case, this probably wouldn't be the right video for you, because I'm not going to go into an entire timeline of what happened in 2020, 2021, all those things. I'm not going to cover what they were saying to the media or on their Twitter. I am going to talk about what was kind of relevant in the case and what was kind of brought up in the case. I am going to bring that up. So if you're looking for a little bit more of a background, do go and check out other channels. But here is just mainly going to talk about what was said and how this case was being reported. The coverage in this case has been very deplorable. I mean, awful to say the least. There has been a lot of misinformation out there, and I mean a lot. And I'm not going to go through the misinformation in this video. The purpose of this video is to kind of counteract or bring all the facts together so that you guys can make up your own mind. In my honest opinion, this case should not have been as polarizing as it is, where people are still questioning who done this, who done it. It has become they have pretty much hypothesized a whodunit mystery. It's probably time to call Daniel Craig and I don't know who done Nice Out. I don't know. Ryan Johnson, I think his name is, call them to write a murder mystery story regarding this case, because it has been insane the way that people has approached this entire thing, and it pretty much reduced it to, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Probably the most embarrassing reporting I've seen is where TMZ obtained pictures of the jury form and posted it out. And other publications, not TMZ, just to disclaim that, other publications, I can't believe I'm defending TMZ, but anyway, other publications grabbed hold of the jury form and posted that the jury has reached a non-guilty verdict on the assault on Megan and a guilty verdict on the gun charges. And it wasn't even signed. Like, it was so bad that these had to come out and say that it was misinformation, blah blah, that they were fed bad info. It was sad. I'm not gonna say who the organizations were. Again, that's not the purpose of this video, to blast or put them on blast or expose them or anything like that. They don't expose them themselves. I'm just here to bring all the information together and to pretty much give a full overview of what went on in that courtroom, if I could put it like that. I've made a makeshift transcript. It's not really the official transcript. Bear that in mind. Do not copy and paste any of this. Honestly, don't copy and paste it as the truth, because it's just what I have interpreted, what could have gone on in the courtroom based on what was reported by the people that were actually in the courtroom. I've used one main source, and that is Megan Conniff of Law and Crime Network. I think that this source is the most objective one, simply because of the fact that they don't actually have anything to gain or lose by reporting on this case. They're not in the Igbo community. All they do is report law and crime. Like, it's their job to cover court cases. So for her to dive into this case, I felt this would be a real objective opportunity. Not to say that it was the perfect reporting, but I think that she done really good based on the limitations that she had to cover this case. And also, I'm going to be using Louder Than Riot as a source as well. Again, Megan Conniff has opined them as, as a reliable source, and use them to quote in her quote tweets. So I don't have any reason to doubt that they have been objective. Because of her opining the opinion of Nancy Dillon of Rolling Stones, I know some people may not like Rolling Stones and they see them as a source of a hit piece nowadays. However, she is the senior reporter, and the people that do write hit pieces are more or less new staff, so cut her some slack. I mean, if Megan Conniff, in my opinion, is opining her as noteworthy, I would trust her reporting also. I don't really trust tabloids or magazines or those kind of news agencies for any news in regards to what's happening within the legal field. But however, my main source is Megan Conniff. I can't see any bias unless you're looking at the fact that she's called Megan as well, so maybe that's the bias. I don't know. Even though you're watching this video, do take it with a pinch of salt, because a lot of the reporters that have reported on this case has pretty much just summed up and has pretty much just reported it from their own lens. I'm gonna look into the day-by-day coverage of this and what was said in the courtroom, try and bring out the truth while I wait for the transcripts to be published and I can obtain them. And also I'll be providing my final thoughts in the end of this and try to piece together whatever information that has been presented so far. For those that don't know much about this case, it all stemmed from 2020, where Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion, and Kelsey Harris were at a party at Kylie Jenner's house, and after they all left the party, they were driving home, and all of a sudden, freak, bang, Meg was shot in the leg.
You still won't pick up that phone and call me. I will respect you more if you call me. I've expressed all my concerns to you directly. And you know what my issue is with you. I wasn't your enemy. You made me your enemy. We stopped fucking with each other, but I wasn't your enemy. You made me your enemy. I have every right to get on here and address this because you made a diss track for millions of people to hear, trying to humiliate me. And I'm not hurt by the comments. I'm not hurt by any of that. But when it's coming from somebody that you really know, that's the problem. And Megan, I know you. We know each other. I know you like the back of my hand. So I don't know why you playing with me. I don't know why you playing with me. Because I can get on here and say some shit. I don't understand. It's like you be contradicting like a lot of shit. If anybody's a narcissist, it's you. And I don't want, you know, my intentions isn't to mess up nobody's image, nothing like that. I've been trying to move on with my life, actually. Only time I reply to something is when somebody sends some shit to me, some hate shit to me on purpose, intentionally. And y'all see it. Y'all see it. Y'all see it happening. And the people around you, too. You know what I'm saying? They know it's real. Y'all know I was solid. Y'all know I was loyal to that girl. I would have did anything for her. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the truth is, I mean, in your song, I think you said, I want the niggas, I don't know what the fuck, I want the niggas you got or some shit. We all know that I ain't never wanted none of your niggas. It was really, come to find out, your ass was fucking with a nigga behind my back that I was on first. And that ain't right, because you supposed to be my best friend. We laugh at bitches that do that shit to each other. We not supposed to do that shit to each other. I want you to move on with your life. I want you to elevate. I want you to succeed. I'm not you. You're Meg Thee Stallion. I'm not you. I'm Kelsey. Let me do what I have to do to get where I need to be to make sure my family eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here really trying to make some shit happen. That's why you fucked with me so tough, because I was a hustler. Because I was on my shit. I stopped what I was doing to support you, because I wanted to do that from my heart. And I'm not here to address the incident of that night. I'm talking about shots fired. You know why? Because there was multiple lies said on that shit directed to me, which caused a hate train on me.
And she was taken to the hospital. It was reported, and there were many videos. There were videos of the incident that was out and leaked. There were also the hospital photos. The one thing that made this case so unique, though, is when all this information was coming out in real time, it was denial after denial after denial. Everyone did not believe that this could have possibly happened. There were, I'm not saying everybody, like, there were believers just in their minority. But the main idea was she was making it all up. And a lot of it was based on the fact that she went on the interview with Girl King on CBS, I believe.
Just briefly walk us through what happened that night. It starts, you're at a party at Kylie Jenner's house.
I had went there and we were just hanging out, and I was ready to go because I had been there all day.
So you guys end up in a car. You, Tory Lanez, your friend at the time, Kelsey, and his driver / security. Mm-hmm. There was an argument, and you get out of the car, right?
At that point, the argument wasn't even with me. Like, the argument was with the two people in the back seat. So I asked the driver to pull the car over, like, I'm done with this. And I should have stayed out of the car. Like, I should have not got back in the car. Mm-hmm. And they was like, Megan, just get back in the car. We almost there. Like, just get back in. Mm-hmm. So I get back in the car. It's like it's getting worse.
Like, arguing in the car.
The arguing in the car is getting worse, and I don't want to be in this car no more. Like, because I see it's getting crazy. Mm-hmm. So I get out the car, and it's like everything happens so fast. Yes. And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, dance, and he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times. Mm-hmm. And I was so scared. So is he in the car shooting from the car, Megan? He is standing up over the window, shooting. Uh-huh. What is he saying, Tory Lanez saying after he shot? He's apologizing. He's, I'm so sorry. Please don't tell nobody. I'll give y'all $1 million if y'all don't say nothing. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you offering me money right now? Help me. Like, and if you sorry, just help me. Like,
but at that moment,
we didn't even make it to the house. Like, somebody had already called the police, and it was like so many of them. It was helicopters. I was like, oh my God, we all about to die. Like, the George Floyd incident had just happened. The police are definitely very much shoot first, ask questions after. So I'm like, it's a hot gun.
Why do you think he's putting out the story that the two of you had a relationship and that you're making the whole thing up?
I think that he is trying to deflect from the fact that he committed a crime.
What do you say to people that still don't believe that you were actually shot?
I don't think any of this is for them. Like, it's for me. Like, I know this happened to me. I'd rather it play out in court and the facts come out and everything comes out than me having to plead my case. And I'm a victim. Like, I'm the victim. Like, I'm not defending myself against anything. Like, something happened to me.
Now, what I am not going to do for this background is basically show Tory Lanez's media coverage or what he's had to say in regards to all of this, how he's addressed all of this, simply because he did not testify. If you did not testify, I'm not going to bring up what you said to try and try and bring your side of the story, because end of the day, the reason why I'm bringing all of this up is to see how it lines up with their testimony. I don't have Tory Lanez's testimony, therefore I'm not going to bring up any thing he has done to try and address the situation, any text, videos whatsoever. I'm not going to do that. So that's the full disclosure. Fast forwarding to today, charges that were brought for this case is basically assault with a automatic firearm, possession of a concealed unregistered firearm, and negligent discharge of a firearm. This case was comprised of 12 jurors. 7 were women and 5 were men. The witnesses that testified in this case were Kelsey Harris herself, Meg Thee Stallion testified as well, Eric Curbison, which was celebrity stylist or Meg Thee Stallion's former stylist, he also testified. Sean Kelly, the neighborhood witness that basically pretty much saw everything, came on Tory's defense witness, testified as well. So to go through the day-by-day coverage of this, I'm going to be looking through the unofficial transcript that I created myself. So if you see any typos, apologies. But yeah, I will be going through that and bringing you all the detail that I could from there. I will not be covering the opening statements or the closing statements. I want you to reach your own conclusions. Those statements are generally what the lawyers are trying to present, and the narrative that they're trying to present to the jury and their findings on the case. I want you to reach your own conclusions based on what has been reported, based on what has been presented, and the evidence that I will show in this video as well, to kind of give an idea of what's going on. I will be offering my own commentary, and I will try my best to not make it partisan or anything like that. Just basically what I'm seeing and commenting on that. I personally do believe, just to set out any bias there, I do believe she was shot. I do believe Tory shot her, and I don't believe it was his gun. That's my position on it. I'm just one man with an opinion. You don't have to take it for what it is, but hopefully throughout this video you can come to the understanding of why I have formed those opinions. So we're gonna go straight into the testimonies, and this is from day 2. So Megan was taking a stand on this day, as well as Officer Diaz, and we're gonna go through just that, and I'll offer my commentary in the end for day 2. It's just the pleasantries that has been introduced there, who Lanez is, how they knew each other, and basically we're not going to be covering all of this, but I will start from here. He says, "What has being here and giving your testimony like for you? I just don't feel good. I can't believe I have to come up here and do this. People speculating about who I had sex with, shaming me for being a grown woman having sex, and speculating on who I'm having sex with. I don't understand why that matters. I have been turned into some kind of villain and he a victim. This has messed up my whole life. People call this the Meg Thee Stallion trial. I am not on trial. Have you ever been intimate with Mr. Pearson? Yes, but we weren't exclusive. I'm having a really difficult time sitting up here comfortably telling my story. I have to sit across from Tory. I'm really trying to come off as a strong woman. I don't want to give them the power they've been taking from me going on 3 years. This whole story was about who I'm having sex with, and I don't understand why that matters. I'm embarrassed and it's beside the point. It's disgusting at this point. How can I share my body with somebody who could shoot me? the shooting, how has the shooting affected you physically? I underwent physical therapy, but to this day, I can't really feel the left side of my foot. The doctor said the nerves were damaged. The back of my feet are always sore. But I still push through that. And the thought of having to admit I slept with Tory, I can't bear it because it's disgusting. At this point, how could I share my body with somebody who would shoot me? That and the pushback from within the industry, I feel disgusting. I feel dirty. I feel like I don't matter. I feel like I can't even hold a conversation for an extended period all because of the vitriol I constantly have to endure from people who support Lanez. I wish he would just shot and killed me if I knew I was going to have to go through this torture. My relationship with my current partner has suffered because of all this vitriol, all this drama. Tory has come out and tells so many lies about me. He and all those that support him are making this all about sex scandal, and no one is defending me. I feel like a sick bird. My career has suffered because of this. I did a song with Beyonce called Savage, and all this drama has overshadowed that. Would you say your career was bigger than his? Yes it was. Going back to the events before the shooting, you were asked to leave the house by Kylie Jenner. Absolutely not. Did you care about any possible romance between Lanez and Jenner? Absolutely not. I will say this. This fight prompted me to the SUV the minute he told me to stop lying to Kelsey. Why did he tell you to stop lying? Because it was regarding her past sexual relationship. I knew Kelsey had a crush on him, and I didn't want her to know that I dealt with him in any way. I never dated anyone Kelsey dated in my whole life, and Kelsey never dated anyone I dated. Why did you tell the police that you stepped on glass? At this time, we were at the height of police brutality. I was in deep fear when pulled over, and they had guns on them, with there being a gun in the car. I don't know if they're gonna shoot first and ask questions later. I don't want to die. I didn't want anyone else to die. Tar goes on to play the footage of Megan inside the ambulance crying. Walk us through what that moment inside the ambulance was like for you. At that moment, I'm just realizing I'm shot. I've really just been shot. Why didn't you tell the police that you were shot? Within the black community, in my community, it is not acceptable to be cooperating with police officers. That's number one. Number two is my fear of violence. Why did you not tell the medics that you've been shot? When you come out as a woman and say, this man did this to me, you can end up being maligned. The hip hop industry is like a big boys club that reacts like I'm telling on one of your friends and now you're about to hate me. Tar proceeded to show texts of Tory sent to Megan at 20:59. It read, Meg, I know you probably not going to talk to me again, but I genuinely want you to know I'm sorry from the bottom of my heart, and I was just too drunk. Nonetheless, S word should have never happened, and I never change, and I can't change what I did. I just feel horrible. How did you feel receiving this text? I was sick. After reading them, I thought to myself, why are you bothering me? Why are you being weird? You know you shot me. How did the shooting occur? Tory was saying Kelsey and I we bitches and hoes. So I got out of the car and I realized, damn, I'm in a thong and looked crazy. I'm literally on the brink of being so famous right now. I didn't want bad publicity and wanted to get back into the car. But then I heard Tory and Kelsey really screaming at the top of their lungs at each other. I said to myself, no, I'm over it. I don't want to be in an argument anymore. I started walking away from the car and I hear Tory say, dance bitch. I'm in shock. I'm scared. I hear the gun go off. I hear the gun going off and I can't believe he's shooting at me. I froze when I saw the gun and saw Lanez with his arm over the car window. He appeared taller than he was. How How tall is he usually? 5'3" or 5'4". Then what happened? After the gunfire rang out, I just felt shock. I felt hurt, but I wasn't really sure this is actually happening. I saw blood all over my feet, and it gets blurry from there. I saw Tory and Kelsey approach. At this point, I'm in shock. Everything feels blurry. DA Tar proceeds to play the helicopter footage showing shirtless Tory spread out on the street while Megan limps and hibbles around with her hand up. Later, a footage of Megan sitting on the ground with her bloody leg stretched. Tar displayed photos of Megan's wounded feet, hateful tweets, and an Instagram page. This Instagram page was dedicated to solely hating me. I see tweets and Instagram posts every day. Every time I see something new. Oh, that bitch should have got shot in the head. Too much twerk. Who cares? Who cares? She fuck everybody. She should have been shot. DA Tar proceeds to show the Instagram live video where Megan discussed the shooting. A written transcript was given to the jury.
I was shot in both of my feet and I had to get surgery to get the bullets taken out, and it was super scary. Oh Lord, I didn't think I was gonna cry. Just the worst experience of my life. And it's not funny. There's nothing to joke about. It was nothing for y'all to start going and making up fake stories about. I didn't put my hands on nobody. I didn't deserve to get shot. I didn't do shit. And thank God that the bullets didn't touch bones. They didn't break tendons. I know my mama, my daddy, my granny had to be looking out for me with that one, because where the bullets hit at, it missed everything. But the was in there. And it's not that I was protecting anybody. I just wasn't ready to speak.
On the cross-exam, we don't really know the mannerisms or anything here. We didn't see it live, so all we have here is the words that were reported. So it kind of loses its effect in a way, but we'll soldier on. You claim Tory said dance bitch and was the gunman. Run us through again what happened. We were arguing, I walked away, then I heard Tory say dance bitch and shot the gun. I turned around and saw him holding a gun. Did you see Kelsey Harris when this was said? No, I didn't see Kelsey. Then you can't say for certain it was Tory who shot you. No one else has a gun, just your client. There was a Louis Vuitton bag found in the SUV that belongs to you, correct? I don't know if that's mine. I have a lot of bags. Do you recall Harris being upset with you for cheating on the man she liked? I cheated on the man she liked? It's clear you've been shot. Why didn't you mention Kelsey when you first said you were shot to the police? When previously you said that you stepped on glass? There was no report of this answer, so we just move on. We don't know. We don't know the answer to this possible question, basically. The redirect was as follows. How did the relationship, Kafif Tar done the redirect, saying, how did the relationship between you and Kelsey begin? Meg responded, I had known her since freshman year of college. This was 2013. I hired her as my assistant when my career, when I saw my career take off. She just come with me everywhere, helped me out. We were best friends. We did everything together. As that relationship changed, yes. I had cut ties with her after I learned she contacted Tory after he shot me. Let's shift our attention to the pool party at Kylie Jenner's house. What were you doing there? I went to Kylie's house that evening and I cooked in the kitchen as everyone was drinking outside. I brought food out and we just continued to party. I invited Tory to come and join us. Do you remember when you contacted him? I can't remember what time I contacted him. It was really late. Then later, I thought it was time to leave as I was wearing a wig and it started slipping and I was ready to go. But Tory didn't want to leave. He had an attitude. I felt like he had an attitude because he wasn't ready to leave the party. We eventually left and everything was hostile. The fight started in the car when he said something along the lines of me needing to stop lying to your friend. Tory was basically just telling me that I wasn't shit, and I just responded by talking about his music career, and this pissed him off. That is the end of day 2. Now for my thoughts. I personally thought, just reading from that and gleaning from that, without seeing the cross-examination, we will never know how credible she was, but to me she came across as very credible. Yes, there was credibility issues where we have the evidence that she did say on Girl King that she didn't sleep with Tory, and then here she says she did sleep with Tory, but it just wasn't exclusive, meaning they didn't have a relationship in which they were officially boyfriend and girlfriends in slang terms. So this would seem like she's lying, and you shouldn't trust anything she says. Where that may be true, there are so many other things in there that would kind of equalize or even nullifies that, in my opinion. But in my opinion, truly, it kind of justifies why she said what she said on Gayle King. If you're going to use that against her, here is my retort. The one statement that stuck out that kind of nullifies that whole point in regards her lying because she said that she didn't sleep with him is just the fact that she said, how could I sleep with someone that shot me? At first, this was out of place for me, because I was like, why would you say that? Like, why would you say that? Because you clearly didn't know that this guy was gonna shoot you, so you wouldn't go into it thinking, oh shoot, this guy's gonna shoot me, so therefore I'm gonna sleep with him. I don't know, it's not gonna compute like that. She clearly wanted to sleep with Tory. She clearly wanted to have all that with Tory. But when the shooting happened, it's just logical to think that what Tory did outside of that and everything that has happened over the 2 years, that she would sum it up as, why would I do that? Why would I sleep with somebody that shot me? She may have not have articulated well, but in my honest opinion, this is shame. This is that feeling that we can really sympathize with, because we all have that ex, we all have that somebody that we have slept with, and we just woke up the next day and we're like, oh flipping heck, this person is not someone I would imagine to sleep with. Or even we may have enjoyed the entire ordeal, and we may have enjoyed the entire experience and we all went off, happy days, and then but we agreed to keep it a secret because we weren't exclusive. And then the person goes out and says to everybody that they done this, they done this. You would feel shame. You would feel like, this is the thing. But, so on that front, I can kind of sympathize with what's going on here. But now that you bring in the shooting aspect and the fact that everyone is speculating that because she had sex with him and lied about sex with him, it couldn't be him that shot her. I personally think that is the main reason why she even felt the shame to even say no. So when you consider all these things, it's just not possible for you to discount everything else that she said as a lie, because that would just be completely unfair. The reason why I say it'll be unfair is just purely for the fact that she said that she said that she stepped on glass to the police, corroborated by the police, And she even went on to say that she stepped on glass in hospital when they found bullet fragments in hospital, which is why this case even exists, because it was from there that the bullet fragments encouraged the DA to take this case forward. Megan didn't press charges. She didn't do this. It was the DA that brought it, the people. So so when you look at all these things, and when she said, she going back to that interview, she did actually say she didn't want to report it to the police because of George Floyd and all that. She said it again here, and you got to remember at that time the George Floyd mess was not long before this, and on top of that there was a gun in the car. So there's nothing to tell me that all those testimony could also be lies now, because it was a genuine fear. We've got to add in the extra layer of COVID happening at the same time, and we're all in a lockdown. Everyone was hyper vigilant. I can understand her legitimate fears. Even if you were to discount her fear of violence, I can actually understand the legitimate fear of the police wanting to shoot everyone and asking the questions later. I think that's credible. I think it's very credible that that she felt a lot of discomfort when she was in the hospital. You know, like, I don't have any reason to doubt any of those things that she has said. You would say that in the hospital, oh no, I just stepped on glass. For me, I mean, the hospital one, okay, fine. You don't want to seem like you're snitching on anything like that. But it depends who was with her. In my opinion, we don't know who was with her. It could have been people. It could have been friends that was outside the scene that came in to see her. It could have been a manager. It could have been anybody that basically came in to see her, and she just didn't want to let it out that it was guns. She, based on the background of this case, it is enough to actually think, yeah, there's no way that she could be lying about this. There's no way that just that one little lie about Tory and her having sex could just erase everything that happened, because this seems extremely credible to me. It's when you consider all the circumstances surrounding the situation. Now let's move on to day 2 of the testimonies. Now let's move on to day 3 of the testimonies. By the way, this is not the accurate. We don't know the timeline to all this, so I'm just writing as chronologically as possible. Here goes. Harris says, I'm neutral. I moved on with my life. I just didn't like that Megan had spread false rumors about me, saying I took hush money. I don't care to be here today. It's a triggering situation. This is happening in the face of people, of a million people. My name is being thrown around. Lies. I didn't ask to be in this. What was the falling out with Megan about? Asked DA Tar. That's a great question. I don't know. She didn't protect you enough? Yes. On the shooting, what was the argument with you and Tory about? It was a blur and we were under the influence. Did Tory shoot Megan? I didn't see him, and I told you that. I didn't see him do that. Were the accusations about you having shot Megan? They were. How do you feel about them? I mean, it's ridiculous. TA plays part of the recording of the September 2022 interview.
He began to say, I'm from, he just started I'm from Canada, basically, I guess insinuating that they're gangsters or something. I don't know. I'm from Canada, my nigga. Do you know? And I'm like, okay, and so, now we're just going back and forth. It's I'm going back and forth with him. He's going back and forth with Megan. And he said, my nigga, I'll shoot you. And so
He said that to you?
He said that to me. So he reached, he was going to grab something. He reached towards the middle console, but he never pulled anything out.
Now, can you describe the middle console on the car?
Mm-hmm.
There's I assume some type of flat cover or lid,
correct.
And then when he reached towards it, you just saw what? His hand moving?
Yeah, it was just a motion that he reached. He never opened it or, so it was just a motion. So I was like, okay, and if you shoot me, then I guess it's my time to go, and if you shoot me, just know I have people who will ride behind me, in my support.
Both attorneys sidebarred with the judge after this. The judge, after this sidebar, went on to say, jurors, you are reminded that this recording of Kelsey Harris from her September interview with prosecutors was not evidence and was instead being used to try and refresh Harris' memory of what she said. So after that reported admonishment, we go back on to the questioning by the DA, by the prosecution, I should say. Tar says, do you remember in September interview, you mentioned that he threatened to shoot you? Do I have to answer that? The judge says yes. Tar says yes. Yes, ma'am. And this was in the car, correct? Yes. What did he do? What did he say? Can I take my fifth? Kelsey Harris vacated the witness stand momentarily after the judge permitted her to consult her attorney, Daniel Nandoni, privately and returned moments later. Harris goes on to say, again, I want to answer my Fifth Amendment. You have to answer that question. Kelsey, why don't you want to answer that question? It's just, I don't know. I don't want to be here. Did anyone with the defense contact you? No. In September, when you spoke with us, you gave us a lot of detailed statements about what happened, right? Yes. What happened between September and today that you forgot everything? I told you what I'm going through. Anxiety, postpartum, death in the family is a lot. When you talked to us in September, you were being truthful, weren't you? Some things, yes. Did you fire the weapon at Megan? No. What did Tory tell you in the car? I don't know. It don't matter to me. I just don't want to be here. Is having to testify in front of Tory bothering or the reason you don't want to be here? I don't know. It don't bother me. I just don't want to be here. Okay, let's go back to what happened after you left Jenna's house. What was the reason both left that night? I'm sorry, can I cuss? Yes. She's like, bitch, we gotta get the fuck out. After the lunch break, goes on to say, goes on to report it as, some of those I stated, they weren't accurate. Kelsey, at some point in this case, did Tory try to bribe you? Not just me. Who else has Tory tried to bribe? I wouldn't say bribe. It wasn't about not saying anything. No, but it was mentioned. What did Tory say after the shooting? He mentioned $1 million. I guess it was just about the case. He offered you $1 million to keep quiet about the shooting. That's not the exact wording. Whew. My thoughts, she's lying in there. This turn off, I mean, they've done an interview and they have the interview. It's not in evidence so far. It's not in evidence, but you can see the disconnect here. In my opinion, whatever has happened between September and December when this trial took place, nothing is going to help me understand why Kelsey just suddenly came to this realization and feel the need to change her story, etc. I will take her defense of anxiety and postpartum seriously, and do say that could play a huge part. If she lost a family member around August or September, it could have compelled her to say what she said. If she lost afterwards, it could have compelled her to realize maybe what she said then was there were so many things that was inaccurate, and she feels like she just has to set the record straight. Now, we don't know. She never gave us a timeline to any of these things. Now, the one thing that has stuck out to me is the fact that she just blanked out, denied, no, I did not actually fire the gun. I did not fire the weapon at Megan. I didn't do that. That really stuck out to me for many reasons, because for all the things that you're claiming, like the postmortem anxiety or all those things, this one is she like, no, I didn't do that. No. And she's not on trial. You got to remember that. There's no charges being brought against her or anything like that. She is not on trial. I must pull the brakes here. Also give another disclaimer. She was given use immunity, not transactional immunity. So when you're given use immunity for pleading the fifth or anything like that, it generally means that whatever you have claimed on the witness stand is not going to be used against you. Whatever you have said on the witness stand is not going to be used against you. If you're given transactional immunity, it means no charges can be brought and against you. So those distinctions are very important, because let's say that she did say that she shot Megan, then they could charge her right there and there. They're like they could open an investigation and look to bring charges. If she has said it was my gun, it wasn't Tory's gun, you know, so many charges can come out of that. You know what I'm trying to say? So maybe there were so many reasons to plead in the fifth. Pleading the fifth is not an admission of guilt or anything like that. It is just so that you can protect yourself from being charged for something that you didn't have to be charged for, because someone else didn't do their jobs or their due diligence at the scene to ensure that they had all the information to bring the appropriate charges to the appropriate people. That makes sense. So that's my understanding of why that law exists. I could be completely wrong. I'm not a lawyer, but that's just my understanding. The bribery thing, though, I cannot. But anyway, back to it, and we're going to day 4, where we're finishing off the testimony of Kelsey Harris. Hey, hope you're enjoying this coverage so far. Join me for part 2 as we go in depth into day 4 and day 7 of this crazy case. See you there.